This is one of the decks that I have low expectations going in here. I think there's a lot of weird card choices in here. I honestly need to start logging what decks look like when I accept them, because I feel like I would have rejected this deck if someone sent it in. I think these copies of Silence in the sideboard are some hot nonsense. I guess they time walk combo decks and are okay against counter spells, but like, it feels like it's probably just worse than playing a counter spell, and like devoting 4 sideboard slots to it seems silly. Our curve has a lot of expensive cards in it, so wouldn't be too surprised if we just get run over a bunch this league. If we play against a bunch of control and mid-range decks, this deck's probably fine. Sand just doesn't do anything, right? Like, and this is why you probably need more 1 and 2 mana spells in a deck like this, because again, in Modern, you just can't reasonably keep hands that don't do anything. Yeah, I'm saying if more people play bad decks, the bad decks get better on average. Yep, because they get to play against more people on the same level of playing field as them. They have turn 1 birds though. You don't register turn 1 Birds of Paradise to not be excited to have in your opener. So here's the thing. The lack of time-shifted feature matches at the PT is silly because they have the technology for Grand Prix. So if you can do it at a Grand Prix and you can't do it at a Pro Tour, you need to fire who's ever doing your Pro Tour coverage and hire who's ever doing your Grand Prix coverage. It's just that simple. It is completely unacceptable that there are not time-shifted feature matches at the Pro Tour. There is zero acceptable. Deck's very good. We played that deck first this morning. It was fantastic. Turn 2 Voice of Resurgence. Burn is a matchup where Voice is very good. Hops in the way of their Goblin Guide and then blocks something else again. Also creates a big token to beat them down with when we're ready to turn the corner. What does time shifting mean? It means they record a second feature match while the primary feature match is being cast. So when the primary feature match finishes, they have more magic to show. Even if it's not technically live, it's new magic that we haven't seen on stream yet. And Orion, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. You're shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. Keeping me employed here. I think that's completely unrealistic and nonsense. I think anybody expecting Magic to reach an audience the same size of League of Legends is just completely out of touch with the reality of the situation. That being said, I agree that Magic coverage could be better than it is now. To say it can't improve is also nonsense, but I think saying that like this game could be like League of Legends, that's just like you don't get how this works if you think that's true. Yeah, this turn I get to fetch a basic forest, cast this Oath of Nissa, and then rally Voice of Resurgence back into play. Like if we lose this game on the play, this matchup's probably just unwinnable. This is like the stone cold nuts for us as far as this matchup is concerned. Gonna have turn 4 Shalai to give me hexproof, so. I actually think Wizards of the Coast has done a very good job selecting commentators recently. They've been cycling in new talent and getting new people. Are you about to cast a spell? Do we not know the text on Voice of Resurgence? God bless. All right. So we're going to win this game, potentially, because our opponent doesn't know how Voice of Resurgence works. To be fair, Voice of Resurgence is pretty unplayable, so a lot of people don't cast it anymore. Can you please explain why this can't be like League? Because a game like League of Legends, or Counter-Strike Source, or Overwatch, it is easy to translate to somebody who doesn't play the game what is going on the screen. Past that, the base level that you need to play a game like Overwatch or League of Legends is basically nothing. If you have a computer and you play video games, you can play Overwatch. You can play League. League's literally free, right? And like Overwatch is like 40 bucks. Whereas like Magic, the cheapest you can get into it is limited. And to understand Constructed, you need to be putting in piles and piles of money. My deck list literally doesn't have a way to gain health in the 75 other than Scavenging Ooze. So I'm glad we stole game one. Probably going to be... Oh, I have Knight of Autumn. I'm a liar. I've got 2 main deck Knights. Okay, we probably have an okay shot here, honestly. I'm going to trim some of my top end. I'm going to trim a Tireless Tracker. I'm going to put in these counter spells. I'm going to click Submit. Not only does Magic have a higher dollar cost to be able to play it than games like League of Legends and Overwatch, but Magic has a higher knowledge cost and time investment cost than those games. It takes more work to be invested in it and understand what's going on in the stream. No, I use MTGO traders for all my Magic cards. Basically, everybody rents their cards on Magic Online. Like, it's not like paper Magic where the return rate on what you're sending back and forth is really low. Like, when you trade things back out on Magic Online, you get a pretty significant chunk back. Hoagland PayPal gets you 8% on all your orders at MTGO traders. This is one of their best starts on the play. They had turn 1 Dork into turn 2 kill my mana Dork. And that's honestly one of the reasons why Arena is so good for the future of Magic, is because Arena makes playing pickup games of Magic very easy and fast. And that's something that's basically just never been possible before. If you were to pick a deck with Birds of Paradise in it, what would it be and why? Llanowar Elves is like a playable Birds of Paradise. Llanowar, I'd play Llanowar Elves and other Elvish Mystics and Register Elves. I'm not going to change how I sideboarded here on the play. Hopefully we have a good start again and can run them down. I think you were still in that game. I disagree. His hand doesn't do anything till turn 3, but it's got Knight of Autumn. I have to deal 2 damage to myself with my lands. I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand's much better. It's true, JAC. I forgot JAC is, but JAC is just so degenerate. I just don't think of it as a Birds of Paradise deck. Just Kai Ascendancy combo. Rod, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Why not Leyline over Shalai? Because you can't Eldritch Evolution into Leyline, whereas you can Eldritch Evolution into Shalai. This is a toolbox creature deck. These decks aren't particularly good in Modern, but they're fun to play on occasion. So, Fish Lamp Clock. So, there is a high skill ceiling in League, and this is something a lot of people confuse in Magic too. A high skill ceiling doesn't mean that the game doesn't mean that the game doesn't have a low floor. So, a game like League of Legends, it is extremely easy to have someone get started playing. The amount of information someone needs to have access to start playing League of Legends is absurdly small. The amount of information somebody needs to have to start playing Magic efficiently is huge. So yes, you're right. There is a lot to learn and master in a game like League of Legends, but there's also a really low baseline to get started. Thrilling it. Insert question here asking you to make unreasonable speculation. Thanks for the 8 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. I think I just get Shalai here. Like, chess is a great example of a game that's incredibly difficult to master, but it's easy to teach someone the basics, right? Like, explaining to someone how all the chess pieces move on the board are very quick. Yeah, I'm just never blocking with Shalai and hope they don't have Path's Exile, basically. That's the plan. I'm not saying it's a good plan, but it's a plan. I came back to Magic because of Arena after not playing for 15-ish years. Yep. Yeah, Arena's helped a lot of people get back into the game. Arena has been nothing but good for Magic. I can evolve the bird into a Knight of Autumn. Yeah, I think it's just like bird, Knight of Autumn, gain 4, and then just like hope to go from there. Or I'm playing Voice of Resurgence out. Yeah, I'm gonna do that instead. So we have hexproof and our creatures have hexproof. Our other creatures have hexproof. Sorry, Shalai is not hexproof. They cannot cast Searing Blaze because Searing Blaze targets me as a player. Okay, so we're probably dead. I guess I have Eldritch Evolution to find a knight next turn. There's a Scavenging Ooze on top of my deck. So you're saying there's a chance. That's all I need, chat. All I need is a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Just get this out of bolt range ASAP. What exactly is a cube? A cube is a custom limited format where there aren't doubles of any of the cards in it, and you shuffle them up and make 15 card booster packs, then you draft them with friends. It's like a reusable draft format, basically. I might block with the Squeeze if they attack. I think eating Swift Spear plus another burn spell is fine for us here. I'm not going to eat my Voice of Resurgence here because they could Skullcrack me in response and deny me the life gain. Whereas now when I untap, I can eat the Voice of Resurgence, and if they Skullcrack me in response, I eat it again and still gain a point of health. All right, what am I doing here? I think I'm evolving this bird. People don't play Defense Grid in Modern because counterspells aren't very good in this format. We get Voice of Resurgence here. Get to eat this bird. Next turn I can turn the Voice into a Knight and get another token. Now I think it's Voice. They could still have Skullcrack here. Alright, sweet. Zenny, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for dropping by the Modern portion of today's Pro Tour. Hanging out here. My name is Jeff Hoagland. We're playing some Modern this morning. I'll play Modern tomorrow morning during the draft portion as well. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full time. I love what I do, but I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their very wonderful support, like Zene there. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors would like to help you get that nice, close, clean shave. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/HugelShave, you can save $5 on your brand new starter kit with them. That's as well as $3 with shipping. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly to other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off of the top. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience. They do custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, bags, all sorts of great stuff there. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they have on their website. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. Thanks for stopping by our little slice of the internet here this morning. Later today, after I'm done streaming this league, I'm going to be hosting the Pro Tour on my channel. So if you're interested in having a place to talk about things that are going on in the Pro Tour without a chat that's scrolling super quickly and has a bunch of trolls in it, feel free to remain here after I'm done signing off. Also, once the Pro Tour finishes up today, when their constructed rounds are done, I'm going to fire up and stream some more standard on Magic Arena tonight. Why can't I skip the show? Well, I'm actually still like in the queue. Normally my shows are a little bit shorter, but it's taking a hot second to find a match here. There's only one Shalai in the deck. Modern is a brutal, fast format, and every card you put in your deck that costs more than 2 mana in Modern comes at a very real chance of costing you the game because you'll just be too clunky. So I think one Shalai is correct, because otherwise you're just gonna like die with too many in your hand. Yeah, Ink's good stuff. I actually just ordered one of the message deleted playmats so I could have it for the Grand Prix. It's fine. What do you think of Pauper? I really don't. I think the gameplay in Pauper is not good for new players. I think Pauper doesn't have. I think the play patterns in Pauper in general are not ones that I would recommend introducing new players to Magic with. From a price point, it's appealing, but from a quality of gameplay standpoint, I would not recommend it. I think probably the correct way to introduce new people to Magic is with sealed or draft. And I say that as somebody who only plays constructed. Honestly, a cube of the appropriate power level is probably a great way to introduce people to Magic. And actually, here's the end-all, be-all. The actual best way to introduce people to Magic the Gathering is Magic Arena. It teaches them how to play. It gives them cards to start with. They can't break the rules while playing with it. Magic Arena is the correct way to make people. How close are we to the Harry's goal? That's a good question. We have 71 people who have picked up Harry's. For people that haven't been following the channel, the Harry's goal is if 100 people use my Harry's code to pick up a starter kit from them, I'm gonna baby shave my face with my wonderful Harry's razor. So if you want to see me with no beard, head on over and use that Harry's code if you're in the US, Canada, or the UK. This matchup's probably pretty good for us too. These fair mid-range decks give decks like this a real chance. I believe they're only ship US, Canada, and UK. I believe their website says. So I'm gonna go ahead and fetch a Forest here, and then Renegade Rallier my Voice of Resurgence back into play. Yeah, picking up your Harry's kit is actually cheaper than subscribing, and it actually supports me more than subscribing does. The amount of kickback I get per conversion. Because believe it or not, they do pay me to shill. This start's very good for us here. The Cataclysmic Gearhulk looking incredibly awkward, but probably just don't need it. You aren't working with cards that were meant to be played together in a limited format. That's not true, Endo Crisis. You can 100% build a cube with cards that are intended to be played together. In fact, a well-designed cube is going to be cards that are intended to be played together. Zene, thank you for the $10 tip. I appreciate that. Pull up my dashboard here. You mentioned in one of your videos that you can do sideboard decks for guides. Would adding this to the $20 I already donated for Angel Card write a sideboard guide too? Sure, Zene. I'm not sure that we can beat this Kalitas. I guess this gives voice hexproof, but like, if they just have like any amount of removal spells here, we're just dead to rights because our deck just doesn't have interaction in it. The Harry's code is just Jeff Hoagland. I believe it's just Jeff Hoagland. What's the show? Yeah, it's just Jeff Hoagland. Look at that. Yeah, the redneck vampire is very good here. Exile some stuff. Which again, I think this really highlights one of the big issues with archetypes like this, which is we don't have a strong linear game plan, and we simultaneously don't have a great interactive game plan, which leaves us in bad spots in a lot of matchups. Yeah, if there's not a deck list next to something in the queue, generally that means I've been paid to build my preferred iteration of the archetype. Yeah, actually, if they don't have a Doomblade for this Shalai, we could steal the game. The Cletus isn't scary if it doesn't. Yeah, like if I get to untap with this Shalai one more time, they're probably dead. Like every cultured, educated individual, blue is my favorite color in Magic. Okay. Hey, they killed Shalai, but they gave us another voice token in the process. They have another fatal push here. Yep. I don't know, Burgle. Like, I need to actually kill them, right? Like, their deck has a ton of Doomblades in it. Every draw step I give them gives them more chances to draw trophies and nonsense. Gearhulk just like hanging out, being completely unplayable in my hand. Which is the other problem with the toolbox deck like this. Some amount of the time you draw your bullets and they're not good, and it's just like you mulliganed. Doubling Season is on the list of decks and cards that I reject most often. Doubling Season is not modern playable. Too slow, too clunky, doesn't impact the board. I know, sir, that archetype constantly. If this Cataclysmic Gearhulk was literally any other creature, we would be in a great spot. Hardened Scale is a good version of Doubling Season. That's a hot take. I like it. Oh, can't they eat tokens with Kalitas? Yeah, probably. I'm gonna hope they don't do that. Look at that, chat. Sometimes you just gotta cross your fingers. Sometimes you gotta look them straight in the eye. The no pause there is what made this attack work. The no pause there was just like land attack. Land voice attack you. Just no fear, ship it. We've played a bunch. We've played Naya Midrange in the recent history. Big Eyes. Check the YouTube channel. Can you try bit.ly/Hoogleshave Cobra? It should put it in automatically for you. That would explain why I've been at 71 for a couple of days, though. Enjoy your Inquisition of Kozilek. Get to know that I straight up bluffed you. I think there's a chance that they just shouldn't even recast this here, because if they recast it, it goes back into their graveyard to get back with Tasigur again next turn. Why would they, maybe they misread Cataclysmic Gearhulk? They must have misread Gearhulk, right? It's literally the only explanation. I don't know, I'll take it. I like how I've just been like talking this whole league about how like slow and clunky and awkward this archetype is, and like just like 1-0 up a game. Can anybody let me know if you have a second, check and see if the Harry's code works. You don't have to purchase anything, but just see if the code applies for you. Because if it doesn't apply, I need to send my sponsor an email. I don't know why there's 4 silence in the board, Burgle. That was the start of this league. Was I have no idea why there's a silence in the board. The Bitly works. Okay, cool. I'll just point people that way. This is a keep in a mid-range matchup. If Unified Will is getting stranded in your hand, that probably means you're boarding it in matchups where you shouldn't be boarding it in. In my experience playing creature decks like this, I actually really like Unified Will in the sideboard of this archetype. Yeah, you're playing, yeah, and that's honestly one of the things that makes Modern. Another one of the things that makes Modern kind of rancid is that the best interactive decks in Modern play these 1-mana discard spells, which are just a miserable form of interaction. Like, they take away the reward you get for mulliganing proactively, and the only reason people think Thoughtseize and Inquisition are even remotely okay cards in Magic in Modern is because the things that they prevent from happening are slightly more offensive than they are. I'm really looking forward to the new format where Thought Erasure and Duress will be the discard spells that exist. Let's go ahead, through fish. Hey, that card costs 3. Thank you very much. Have a little respect for your comparison. Was trying it for the combo decks. Okay. I feel like silence for combo decks is too cute. I feel like I'd much rather just play permanent based disruption. Have a Fatal Push or another Doomblade, another discard spell here. Fatal Push. Hey, I don't have another land. So the fact that I drew Tireless Tracker here, I think means that I just want to Renegade Rallier back a fetch land. And like I have this Sun Titan in my hand, so like hitting land drops is like really appealing. Closer and closer to that real sword, ready to hit him down and then dredge 3 and pay 2 to bring him back. Thank you, Loam, for the 8 months. Welcome back. I'm going to take another hit here. The only reach that the green-black deck has is Collective Brutality, so I can be a little bit liberal with my health total in terms of blocking. If we draw another land naturally next turn, I'm probably going to track or make a land drop. If we don't hit a land drop naturally, I'm going to Renegade Rallier and get my next land that way. Scavenging Ooze actually changes the calculus on that. Scavenging Ooze, I think, means that I just want to Rallier this turn. Does it? I guess... Yeah, I can Rallier, and then... Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to crack this fetch. I'm going to tap land. I'm going to Rallier back Lotus Cobra. And then I'm going to play this other fetch land. This turn's actually really good. This is why decks like this are fun. They generate sweet turns of magic. And then I'm gonna go ahead and evolution the Lotus Cobra into Felidar Guardian. And then Felidar Guardian's gonna blink Renegade Rallier, and Renegade Rallier is gonna get back a fetch land. So then I have Sun Titan next turn. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all I got. I don't know what Tatyova does. You need 2 Saheelis to combo with Sun Titan. Now, I think I'd rather have the Renegade Rallier's Burgle, so I can double block this Goyf. Yeah, but I could have... Oh, I have Cat out. Duh, I do have Cat out. I understand how my deck works. So if I double block here, they can fatal push my Felidar Guardian, but I think I'm okay with that. I'm at 5, right? And I think chump blocking here seems bad. They're gonna get to fatal push me anyways. Not cracking this fetch land because I want to clue with Tireless Tracker. I'm tired of being clueless. Scavenging Ooze making Sun Titan look exceptionally bad. Play this other tracker out. I'm going to be forced to chump block the Scavenging Ooze next turn, most likely. Interested to see if they have Fatal Push here or not. If they have Fatal Push, it's probably going to use it end of turn when they crack this fetch land. Kind of surprised they didn't shock in that Overgrown Tomb to get another thing this turn. They're kind of choked on mana, and I feel like they can afford the health total. Wow, no push. That's good for us. I feel like if I was them, I'd be hammering my graveyard aggressively. Don't Thoughtseize me. Don't Thougeize me. Don't Thoughtseize me. Inquisition resolves. Don't Thoughtseize me. That card's not modern playable. That would be fine for a actually, we just had someone add a... This standard deck is getting added to the queue today. That's unfortunate. So if you'd like to bump this deck in the queue to see it sooner, this deck seems sweet. All right, just gonna empty my hand out here. Not cracking these clues. I guess I should have attacked there, right? Maybe I'm supposed to attack. Yeah, landfall aggro is fine. I think that deck's great. I mean, like, do I care about the Liliana, though? Like, I don't... She, like, basically doesn't have text on this board, right? Her text is like, my opponent discards a card, maybe I care about her 3 turns from now. You got me. Man, Tireless Tracker's a hell of a drug. Fantastic life. So I don't want to go to 2 because 2 leaves me dead to brutality. Yeah, I'll be playing Arena this evening. I'll be back. So this is my last league of the morning. And then tonight, after the Pro Tour is done with Constructed, I'll be playing more Arena. All right, we're 2-0. Yeah, I don't know. I feel so. Basically, my takeaway from playing so far is that I feel like if you aren't gonna play interaction in the main deck, it should probably be more linear. Like, I think, yeah, so like here's my build of Cobra Saheeli on my website, and it's got a 3rd Felidar in it, which I think I like. It's got a Reflector Mage to be interacting with the board a touch too. So I think so far playing through this, I still prefer the list that's up on my site. I got you, Mr. Collins. Sounds good. Birds of Paradise. Shalai is very good. Yeah, there's one Shalai on the list on my site too. Does anybody enjoy watching GP/beta? I mean, there's a subset of people that watch it, and then there's a subset of people that like just watch anything because it's the Pro Tour. Man, screw this card. I guess I'll make them blow the welding jar. Would replacing Gearhulk with Kiki be better? No, I don't think so. I think adding an uncastable 5-drop to your deck is bad. Okay, so they're playing... Okay, this start's actually pretty rare from the opponent's deck. I definitely put them on traditional Affinity, but it looks like they're playing Hardened Scales. So this turn I get to Oath of Nissa, or I could Tireless Tracker. I can do both. I can do both. I have to shock myself to do both though. My land sequencing here might not have been optimal. No, I guess that's not true. Holding this makes sense. Yeah, should probably be a Temple Garden, right? I don't really need the blue source if I have Oath of Nissa in play. Yeah, that probably should have been a Temple Garden. Shalai with Knight of Autumn is Saheeli with Knight of Autumn is pretty good here. Gonna get to start Doomblading the opponent. Knight is a very solid upgrade for this archetype and decks like it. Do those 2 to 4 cards make... Like, I think, in general, this archetype is kind of clunky and awkward in Modern as far as, like, efficiency is concerned, but I think it's playable if you really enjoy Creature Toolbox decks. There's a build on my website that doesn't have Sun Titan and some of the other clunky stuff in it. It has a little bit more interactive elements in the main. Do I just, like, take this trade here? I think I just take this trade, right? I don't know, Burgle. I don't mind that so much. I feel like they're good in different situations. I think this trade's good for me. So they're going to Overseer... They trade, they Arcbound onto the Ink Moth. And then next turn I get to Shalai. Down tick. Oh, they're just eating my thing. That seems fine for me too. That also seems fine for me. I'm gonna kill Steel Overseer here. I agree that it's narrow. If you expect to play against a lot of this deck, it's probably fine. Although I guess it's also not stellar in this matchup because they play 4 Walking Ballista. Second Ravager, yep. To go ahead and attack for 4 here. Actually, I'm going to attack for 2 because I'm going to chump block with this Knight next turn so that way I can Sun Titan it back into play. I don't know, the leap ties up their mana. I could also see it being the case that, like, if you really... I need to chump the Inkmoth Nexus. Why do I need to chump the Inkmoth Nexus? Oh, next turn. Well, kinda. I'll need to chump it if they go all in on the Inkmoth, but if they don't go all in on the Inkmoth, I'm fine. They're not doing time-shifted matches, right? That's the big issue. Paper Magic tournaments have infinite downtime without time-shifted feature matches. And it is absurd and embarrassing that those happen at Grand Prix and not at their biggest tournaments. No, one to 2 evolutionary leap is pretty stock in the mono green Hardened Scales deck. It gives them another sacrifice outlet, allows them to generate card advantage in the mid-range matchup. All right, so the question I have to ask myself is, if I don't block Inkmoth Nexus next turn, do I die? I think the answer is yes, unfortunately. So they have 4, so this is 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this gets an extra one when they sacrifice it. So I am dead to Inkmoth if I don't block it next turn, which is an unfortunate spot to be in. If I draw Felidar Guardian, they die, which is, again, is a reason to, like, have a bunch of Felidar Guardians in my deck. Eldritch Evolution, also lethal. Yeah, next turn we can kill them with the Sun Titan combo. We just need to live to get there. Yeah, this is my last Modern deck for the day. I'm not going to stream while the Pro Tour is doing... I'm not going to stream during the constructed portion of the Pro Tour, and then when the constructed portion finishes up, I'm going to sign back on this evening to do Standard on Arena. So I'll be doing... I did some Modern this morning. I'm going to do Modern tomorrow morning while the Pro Tour is doing Limited. And then I might take the rest of the weekend off. I don't know. I'll probably be on at some point on Sunday. But tomorrow night, I'm having people over to play board games. The only removal that exists in their deck is Walking Ballista, so both birds are dead to that regardless. This is game one. What board games are we playing this weekend? I think we're going to play Everdell tonight. Again, we've played that one once before, and I want to play it again. I think Everdell and Photosynthesis are the two things I'd like to play some more of. If they don't kill us here, we kill them next turn. I've not played Splendor. Photosynthesis is a lot of fun. When I play some more Master Chef 2, that game was quite fantastic. Yeah, I've played Betrayal before. It's like an okay party-style game. If you're looking, actually, I have a good recommendation from Gen Con. If you're looking for a good party game, you should check out Hive Mind. It's a lot of fun. Good drinking game slash big group game. I try to stay away from deck building games when we have board game nights, because playing deck building games with muggles just isn't fair. Just it's not well balanced. And like Magic stuff like translates to non-Magic, to other board games too, but like it translates very directly to deck building games. Yeah, Keyforge is really poorly designed and distributed. The gameplay from Keyforge is fun, but their distribution model is idiotic and stupid. Idiotic and stupid is redundant, but it's dumb enough that I feel like I need to be redundant. I need to run to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back. Figure out if I need to block Darkbound Ravagers. We might be dead here, actually. Watch this, like, 1 point of damage that I took from this Horizon Canopy kill me. So this has to block here. So they have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I believe they have 12. So remember, this gives 2, this gives 2. So that's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, they have 12. Oh, they're attacking my Planeswalker. Lol. That doesn't matter. They're dead. All right. Yeah, so this is gonna be a combo kill. So I didn't even need to draw the fetch land to combo kill. So we get back Shalai. And then Shalai is gonna copy, or sorry, Saheeli. Saheeli's gonna copy Sun Titan. And then Sun Titan's gonna get back a fetch land. And the fetch land is gonna let me cast this other Saheeli from my hand, which will then copy my Sun Titan, which will get back the Saheeli that's in my graveyard from the legend roll. And then we will make an arbitrarily large number of Sun Titans and kill my opponent. So, Sun Titan plus double Saheeli is lethal. Man, my body is so ready to misclick during this. All right, sweet. God bless. They understand what's going on. Have you tried quartz? I've never heard of quartz. It's not what I'm familiar with. All right, we have Kataki and Stony in here. I can dig it. Like those cards. This is not a Tireless Tracker matchup. This is not a Shalai matchup. It's not a Sun Titan matchup. Cataclysmic Gearhulk's actually pretty good here. I feel like Scavenging Ooze leaves a bit to be desired, but I think it's also better than any of these cards up here. I've not played Flux. Yeah, relevant contextual links are always welcome. Yeah, Gearhulk's very good here. I think Gearhulk is fine in the 75. It's been awkward so far in the matches that we've played. And I don't know that I 100% love it in the main deck, but playing a Gearhulk in the 75, I think is very reasonable. No, it's fine. You're nowhere near the first person to mention that, Stumpfist. It's just how I talk. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. I think there's very specific matches where Cataclysmic Gearhulk is very good and you want it, like this one. But I agree with the assessment that we go wider than most people. So the problem is Ballista hits creatures too, and if Ballista is threatening to kill us, it's probably going to be able to kill Shalai and us. When their Ballistas get going, they really get going. No, you're not missing anything. I think the silences are some nonsense. I probably should have swapped them to Damping Spheres before we started the league. They're like a cute card that can time walk combo or like stop a counter spell, I guess, but I think it's worse than just having more permanent base disruption. Listen, chat, the waiting is the worst part about Magic Online. Get yourself a shuffling deck. Get yourself a shuffling deck. You know what the best part about Magic Arena is? You don't have to deal with MTG finance nonsense. That's the best part about MTG Arena. What, this is a mulligan, right? I feel like if this Horizon Canopy was a land that didn't hurt me, I would keep this hand. But I think the fact that this Horizon Canopy is a land that hurts me means this isn't good enough. Like, their deck is aggressively slanted, so like this Horizon Canopy as my first land probably means I'm starting at like 16 this game, and then you mix in a couple other fetches and shocks, and I'm going to just like take too much damage. That's the other thing. When you have cards like Stony Silence and Rest in Peace in your deck, the mulligan tiebreaker should always be, this hand doesn't have my bomb in it, I should mulligan, because your next hand could have your bomb in it. Be very quiet. We're hunting robots. I think Karanos just isn't good enough. I think the fact that like the premier control decks in the format have access to Teferi to remove Karanos makes them no longer good enough. I actually really like the Nissas in the sideboard. That was a fantastic draw. Hand shaped up to be very good. What type of game is it? Resource management, worker placement. Most games are resource management, like worker placement style game. Play Steel Overseer. God bless. Be very quiet. Yeah, I think this is good. This is one of the cards that's really overperformed for me in Black-Green Rock. In fact, I think the next time we play Black-Green Rock on stream in the queue, we're going to be playing 2 Nissas in the main. Come at me. Steel Overseer attacking here is so good for us because it means they can't get the Stony Silence off the table. Sure. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to beat all these 1/1s yet. Thanks, G-Butts. We laid down the ground rules here, and then we force people to follow them, or we remove them. I don't have anything profitable to blink with this Felidar Guardian, but I think I'm just playing it anyways as a 1/4. No, that's not true. I'm just going to play the Scavenging Ooze and play a tapped land. Excuse me, fetch a tapped land. Evolve for Kataki. I think evolving for Kataki is actually bad here because it would allow them to stack all their counters on Inkmoth Nexus and kill us. No, I don't think so, Isabus. I think enough of your deck doesn't work while Stony is out that you should just, like, hope they don't have it or hope to have your answer for it. G-Buds, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, they have actual modular. Because the same reason, Burgle, I don't want them to modular everything. Like, them modulating everything onto the Inkmoth Nexus is, like, actively bad for us. I do have an Izzet Staticaster that I could get. I could go get a Staticaster with this evolution. I don't know, the Scavenging Ooze doesn't seem terrible, though, at the moment. Like, it eats something every turn and then gets bigger. Gains me a health. Spell Swindle seems too cute. I think Spell Swindle in the Karntez deck is leaning into being good in matches where you're already good. Awesome. I think I just play the cat here, right? I just want more blockers to keep my health total high. I could also cycle this and like look for some more action. Maybe that's better actually. Like they don't have a lot going on. It's another Eldritch Evolution. What 3 am I getting here? I think I just go get Staticaster. I'm just gonna go get Staticaster. Like blocks and makes their Inkmoth bad. Jorsif, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. Get Rallier and buy back my land. I think I'd rather have Staticaster. Staticaster insulates me from the Inkmoth Nexus, which is, I think, how I lose this game. I think with the Hardened scales, especially here, the Kataki's still too much of a liability, which is funny, right? Thinking about how Kataki's going to line up in this matchup, it makes me feel like Kataki's probably not a card I want in my sideboard. Oh. We're only doing Modern this morning. I'm going to be hosting the Pro Tour on my channel after we're done with this league, and then I'll be doing Standard this evening after the constructed portion of the Pro Tour is done. Why do I even want to shoot? Oh, I want to shoot the Ballista. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good line, because the Ballista doesn't modular. Good suggestion. I was thinking I don't want to shoot any of their modular things, but taking the Ballista off the table is fine. Doing this does mean they get a free attack next turn, because I don't want to block any of these, because I don't want them to put counters on Inkmoth Nexus. And always remember, if you can't catch my streams live, they all go up on YouTube after the fact. Always, always, always. The arena is a real video game. Standard's great. Good mix. Two great flavors that taste good together. You know, this deck is positioned against graveyard-based decks. You're probably very bad against them. Hallowed one's probably beatable because you have like Knight of Autumns and stuff, and you can like brawl in combat with them. But Dredge is a pretty rancid matchup. They just like what's it called? Fireball you, whatever the card is, the graveyard fireball, and you die. It's worth noting that this is a situation where if I had Kiki Jiki in my deck, I would kill them next turn. So like, that's something to think about, right? Like if there was a Kiki Jiki in my deck, would they be comboed next turn? I think Cavern is reasonable in which deck? Oh, Gemstone Cavern? I don't know, probably not. I think I'd rather have other colorless lands. So I didn't block there because, again, I don't want them to... alright. Kill you. This is why I think there should be at least 3 cats in this deck. I think your better draws involve just doing this. So they have a Dismember, they're dead here. Looks like they're dead. Alright, undefeated. Is being a regular on the Pro Tour not something that is a priority for me? Nope. I play Magic for fun, and now I play Magic to pay my bills. And playing on the Pro Tour, trying to play on the Pro Tour would cost me a significant amount of money. Honestly, the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm coming around to how the main deck is. I think the only thing I'm not really... the amount of money I make compared to the average Pro Tour competitor is, yeah. This is an actual job. Most people who play on the Pro Tour don't make money doing it. I think the only thing I'm not super happy with about this main deck is I'm just not a huge fan of the Gearhulk or the Sun Titan. The second Scavenging Ooze might be a little loose too. That card's just like kind of okay. think I'd add a Felidar Guardian. I might put some kind of bomb, like a Storm Breath at the top end to evolve into. I don't know that Kiki Jiki's good. I feel like one Reflector Mage in the 75 is probably reasonable, so you can have like pseudo interaction off the Eldritch Evolution. Yeah, it's also possible. Honestly, I think, as sad as it makes me to say, I wonder, Burgle, do you think it's right to just get rid of the Lotus Cobras? Just like have a better curve and just like lean into the threes, just like play Saheeli Cat and not be Cobras. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that's correct. Just like play Noble Hierarchs. Yeah, just play Noble Hierarchs. Like look at the 3 slot in this deck. Like there's so many threes. We could just want Noble in addition to the Lotus Cobras too, because it is true that too many of the stupid draws involve Lotus Cobra. All of your like big impressive turns involve Lotus Cobra. Do you think the actual solution is board Tireless Tracker? Board Tireless Tracker could be the solution. Just like cut those out of the main. What other 2s are playable in this deck, though? It's like just voice, right? To be fair, this is like a really good Voice of Resurgence deck because of Eldritch Evolution, so not playing 4 of those is probably nonsense. Hey, we found another matchup where voice is a card. Basically, the easiest way to tell if this deck's gonna have an okay matchup in a given matchup is if Voice of Resurgence has text, it's probably an okay matchup, is the easiest way to figure it out. Looks like Grixis Shadow. I think Bugler's just worse than the other card advantage 3s that we have, Seth. Like, obviously, it's a card that you could play, but I think it's just worse than the other options. This is not a Shringle-Rootgeist deck. This is not an all-in aggro deck. I'm just going to go ahead and hammer their graveyard with Scavenging Ooze here. You definitely don't want Wall of Roots. Wall of Omens could be okay. No, I don't think so, Burgle. I think you want all the Evos. I think you just want to play more creatures to make the Evos better. I am a sucker for Wall of Omens. Oh, Coiling Oracle. Yeah, that's the card we've played before. That card's fine. There are oracles on my website. You know what's actually worth noting? I have not missed Eternal Witness in this league at all. Without Path to Exiles, maybe Eternal Witness is just like a card that can go by the wayside with the other 3s that we have. We dismembering my Scavenging Ooze? If they go Dismember, Ooze, play Death Shadow, we could be in trouble here. They don't have a lot going on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and eat a Thoughtseize out of their bin. I just wanna like keep their graveyard smallish for delve threats as possible. Yep, that's a 6/6. We'll draw a land and die. Okay. I think this is a 4/3, right? Can you have them gain 4? Unfortunately, we cannot. have like a Tassigoi Fear. Gurmag Angler, maybe. Man, this is aggressive. Chat. Even if I had chump blocked last turn, I'd be dead to Temur Battle Rage this turn. So you're always dead to Temur Battle Rage. Never play around Temur Battle Rage. You basically are always just dead to rights. This is Modern, just hope they don't have it. Just cross your fingers and hope they don't have it. This forces them to trade. And then Shalai's uptick is lethal next turn. I have a token left over. Jay Sizzle, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. If the voice token dies, I get a token. Should we attack first to see if they don't trade? Nah, I don't think so. Yeah! See, chat? Never play around Temur Battle Rage. 0% to play around Temur Battle Rage. Just ship it. Put your chips in the pot. Ask if they're good enough. Night of Autumn's pretty bad here. None of our other cards are particularly good, though. Izzet Nissa Vital Force? Boarding in a 5-drop that gets countered by Stubborn Denial sounds really bad, but I really don't like any other cards in my sideboard. Like a 5/5 with haste is like gonna steal games in this matchup, I think. No, this is not a silence matchup. A silence matchup would be like red-green Valakut Titan or Storm or stuff like that, and I think it's still just nonsense there. Now, I don't think the counterspells are good enough. I think too often they're going to kill too many of our creatures. Like, Eldritch Evolution isn't a very good card in this matchup either. I feel like my sideboard's not constructed in a way currently here to have a reasonable place chance here. We can just steal, though, like we did that last game, right? Like, that last game, I feel like we got away with a robbery. Most of my game plan for this deck is dodging. I mean, they don't always have it, right? You just like, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. This hand's very good. We get to go fetch Birds of Paradise on 1. Is Surgical main deckable in Modern? No, stop it. Yeah, the night says that's like an incredibly low bar though, right? Like regular red-green Titan Shift is like really dry. Like adding a color to add some variety to red-green Titan Shift is like, well, I have this plain slice of wheat bread and you can put some chocolate on it. And it's pretty delicious now because I've added chocolate to the bread, but just like turn 2 Gurmag Angler. Going big fish in beep dee 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 beep dee 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 dee. His plan for Dredge is like the people who understand Modern, that's the answer to that question for some number of decks. The people who don't understand Modern will be like, I have a plan for every deck. It's like, no, that's not how this format works. This format, there's some, even if it's a fringe matchup, like the better decks in Modern, the answer, the dodge it answer is for decks that are less popular, right? But every deck in Modern is hoping to dodge something. You can dodge Dredge, you can dodge a ball, chat. Never forget. You can dodge Temur Battle Rage, you can dodge a ball. Anger me, baby. Anger me. Hopefully Patrick Sullivan isn't a god today. He hates Voice of Resurgence. In Grishelbrand, you're open to dodge your bad draws. I think I block with this Voice of Resurgence because if they just like tap out to dirtle around, we could kill them next turn with the Shalai down tick. We did win the last game. They did not have Temur Battle Rage and we killed them. Now, throwing away the Voice of Resurgence here does expose the Saheeli to a Stubborn Denial, but I think that's a worthwhile exchange for us. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just supposed to like play Tracker next turn anyways. Although I guess if they don't kill Cobra, I go Tracker into Saheeli because of the Lotus Cobra, right? So probably fine either way. Yeah, Cobra turns fetch lands into Lotus Battle, into Black Lotuses. Please kill my Tracker in response. Rats, they're killing my Lotus Cobra. That's unfortunate. All right, so this has to get a blue source now because they're going to kill my Birds of Paradise next turn. So they don't have a thing out yet. So this seems pretty good for me. So Staticaster can kill my bird, but if it wants to kill my bird, then it's tapped and can't block next turn. Desk jobs, software development. All right, we put the fear in him. And then Shalai here lets us protect the bird from this Izzet Staticaster. Web development. That's like, websites are software, kinda. They have a Fatal Push here? They must have a Fatal Push, right? Can't stub that one. Let me tell you where to put your stubby D, opponent. I finally hit a shadow. Okay. So if I attack with both, obviously they eat the elemental, but that triggers revolt for me, so I can Renegade Rallier back Voice of Resurgence. I could crack the clue to try and draw a land. I could play Saheeli and uptick, so that way they're dead to the Saheeli trigger or the Shalai attack next turn. Yeah, they have kind of been telegraphing the Stubborn Denial, which makes me want to take a line with Renegade Rallier, because, like, they're dead to Shalai in 2 turns regardless, right? I could just cast Renegade Rallier. Do I have any lines that leave me not dead to Temur Battle Rage? I don't think so. Attacking with the elemental is wrong if I put them on Fatal Push, because if they're on Fatal Push, they can chump the elemental with Staticaster and then push my Shalai. It might be right to just attack for 3 and then play Renegade Rallier here. I can also get a little greedy and crack the clue. Yeah, I think like most of the time I just can't beat Temur Battle Rage, so I shouldn't think about it. I'm gonna get a little greedy and crack the clue. Like, I have 2 chump blockers regardless, so like a 3rd chump blocker doesn't really do anything, especially when these have hexproof. This prevents them from putting a Shockland into play untapped, which likely prevents them from snapping Battle Rage next turn. I guess the upside to playing Saheeli and plussing her here would be they can't crack a fetch land if she resolved, which means they then can't fetch land snap Battle Rage. Maybe fetch land snap Battle Rage is a reason to jam the Rai that turn, because there's no guarantee they have Stubborn Denial there, right? So maybe I am just supposed to jam Saheeli. I mean, well, the conclusion was I have no ways to play around to kill me. So, like, previous Jeff was correct. What are we doing? Am I dead? Are you dead? We've had a lot of good beats break our way this set of matches. So you're dead? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. The lines. The lines. This is a good line. It's a good line. Yeah, we just uptick both Saheelis and they die, right? I have 6 mana. I don't know why her uptick deals the damage, but here we are. What a weird match of Magic. Six mana Shuck. Win the game. All right, so where is the Pro Tour at? This is going to be my last match for the morning. It's afternoon now. Oh, look, they're on break. Yes, this is my surprised face. Oh, no, there's a match going on. They're still in, so... Can I squeeze another one in? Does anybody know, is there a lunch break at the Pro Tour? Why is what round we're in nowhere on my screen? Why is the current round listed nowhere? Like... This is round 3. Thank you. Is there an hour? Do they take an hour break? Are they taking an hour break? They have a lunch break. And just people who have been watching, if you have the Pro Tour up, I just want to confirm before I tweet complaining, there's not been a single time-shifted feature match, right? They're not doing those, just like every other Pro Tour, there's no time-shifted feature matches. Okay. It's gonna... I don't know how many times I have to give that feedback. Everybody should tag Magic Pro Tour and Wizards of the Coast complaining about the lack of time-shifted feature matches. It's a big deal. It's bad for coverage. Their coverage would be absurdly better with it. It's embarrassing that it happens for a Grand Prix and doesn't happen at Pro Tours. It just is. Embarrassing is the only way to say it. SCG actually doesn't do time-shifted feature matches. That's a Grand Prix thing. Channel Fireball coverage doesn't at Grand Prix. Yes, that's the real thing. Most people don't provide feedback and they just instead don't watch. Yeah, and honestly, so SCG hasn't not had time-shifted feature matches because they didn't want to. SCG hasn't had time-shifted feature matches because it costs more money. It's expensive to do them. You have to have a second setup and camera team and production team. And it's awesome that SCG is finally adding that. But, like, the Pro Tour, there's no excuse, right? Like, this should be their highest budget production. It probably is their highest budget production. And yet still, for some god-awful reason, we don't have time-shifted feature matches there. I think old matches is whatever. I can go watch old matches on YouTube whenever I want. Time-shifted feature matches is the perfect solution. You can go watch an old match of Magic on your own time, on any time frame you're looking for. When I'm tuning into a live event, I want to see new matches of Magic that I haven't watched before. Last night was poorly advertised and very few people knew it was coming. It's for the green-black matchup, Nom Carver. It cleans the board and kills other planeswalkers too. Maybe, what on God's green earth is our opponent playing? Because, like, I figured for sure they were going to kill this in response to me cracking there. Yeah, it kills Barney and all the planeswalkers. Double breeding pool. Are they playing? They can't be playing some kind of scape shift deck, right? Could they? I don't actually know at this point. It might be, yeah, it might be like Sultai control. Like if they were Sultai control, they would have killed this Tireless Tracker, right? I guess they mulliganed. Oh, they mulliganed to 5. All right, so maybe their deck's just like not doing stuff. They did mulligan. I missed that they mulligan. I just looked up and noticed they only have 4 cards in their hand. Yeah, that's actually a good point. If they can pay, well, not even the Hearthstone players to stream Arena, that's good money. Don't rag on that money. If they can afford a $150,000 silver showcase, they should be able to afford time-shifted feature matches at the Pro Tour. Just, are we putting them on a control deck? We're putting them on a control deck, right? You think you're putting them on Infect? All right, I'm going to board in Pia and the Staticaster just in case they're on Infect. Let's board like this. They could be Infect. That's very true. So Pia and Staticaster hedge that, and Pia's okay against control, and Nissa hedges control. I think Infect's a good read. Seven lands. All right. Sorry. Let's put my Jeff Does social media on screen. 3 easy ways to improve PT coverage. Time-shifted feature matches, no more lunch break, no more limited. Cut the downtime and the formats people don't want to watch. Really a no-brainer. Xena, thank you for the 3-month resub there. I appreciate that. Thanks for shipping your fun bucks this way again this month. If you agree with some or all of my tweet, feel free to smash that like button. Have it show up in that hashtag on Twitter. Let them know. I'm playing a lot of Blue-Black, Pirates, and Santa recently. It's been super fun. I was curious what you thought of trimming it up to play 4 dive downs. I just think you don't have enough threat density to do that. That's basically what it comes down to. Opt basically gives you more copies of all of your cards. Yeah, they have 25,000 viewers with infinite downtime. Imagine how many viewers they would have if they didn't have infinite downtime. All right, sorry, we need another moment. Jeff does social media. You want a lunch break? Register 22 basic mountains. Sorry, Brady. Sorry, Brady. All right, am I dead? Oh, we can kill them, right? It's do this, make a mana. Yeah, there's no way we could ever cut Lotus Cobra from this deck. So I do this, and then I make red. So I do this, copy Lotus Cobra, crack the fetch land, evolution the copied Lotus Cobra into a Felidar, blink the Saheeli, and then kill them. Welcome to Thunderdome. Turn 3, Splinter Twin you. This is a turn 3 kill after cracking Horizon Canopy on turn 2. That is correct. Turn 2 I cracked Horizon Canopy, turn 3 we killed them. I could have a dismember here. Silly opponent, why'd you give me a turn 3? Why'd you give me a turn 3? Good games, opponent. All right, got the Hawaii 5-0. We only lost one game. That was all right. I talked about at the beginning how I think this archetype can be a little bit clunky sometimes, but if you hit the right share of matchups, I think it's definitely very reasonable. Things I would change in this list. I would clean up some of the top end, I think. I think Sun Titan is worse than just playing more Felidars a lot of the time. I think I would play, honestly, I'd probably try and get up to 4. Shalai was very, very good today. Would not cut her. So I think I would trim some of these Tireless Trackers. I think I would probably get rid of the extra Night of Autumn. I think I want the last Voice of Resurgence in the main deck. Just like 2 Wall of Omens. 2 Wall of Omens is probably not terrible. Is Wall of Omens? I think Wall of Omens is better. No, don't you dare cut Evolution. I think Wall of Omens is better than messing up the mana to cast Coiling Oracle. It could also be that you just want some Noble Hierarchs. Now, I really did not miss having access to Eternal Witness today. Yeah, we never used the Gearhulk, and it was just clunky every time we drew it. I think I just want more 2s in the deck. The problem with Coiling Oracle is that if you look at our mana base, fetching blue early is very painful. And while I agree it has good upside, I think just not taking damage from our lands is ideal. Well, I kind of wanted a Reflector Mage. I could see a Noble Hierarch being okay. No, you don't want Bugler. Bugler's just worse than the card advantage we have access to, I think. I think I like this. I could see going up on Mana Dorks 2 being okay, but I think 11 twos is fine. And then what is this sideboard doing? This sideboard, I think, has some nonsense in it. Yeah, I think one Shalai is plenty. So I think, honestly, I'm probably just going to copy the sideboard that I have on my website. I think these silences are nonsense. A couple of counter spells are fine. Staticaster is fine. No Godok Teagues, I think, is a big miss. I think Godok Teague is one of the best hate cards you can have in Modern right now, and not playing it when it doesn't impact your deck in a creature toolbox like this is really wrong. As cute as Nissa Vital Force is, I think she's worse than just playing Tireless Tracker. I think playing the first Nissa before you have 4 trackers in your deck is probably wrong. Eidolon is fine here. Now, I'm really not a fan of Grave Titan or the Titan. It's just slow and it's clunky and it's expensive. And a lot of the games that you lose with a deck like this, you just die with Titan in your hand. So I think these are the Magic cards I would like access to if I was playing this deck. I think Kataki's probably not worthwhile. Glorybringer's a fine card. I think that's a card if you're really looking to host blue-white control, Glorybringer is fine. Honestly, the Unified Wills might just be some hot nonsense. Second Scavenging Ooze also might not be good enough too. Something like this is probably what I would do. I think I'm going to update the list on my website to be this. We have Cobra Saheeli. It's one of the many decks that's listed on my website. I think this is fine. It's like a good spread of stuff. It's possible that these Unified Wills just aren't good, and I just want these to be like Tireless Tracker 4 and a Stormbreath Dragon. Yeah, let's do that. Holding up counter spells and stuff in this archetype. I think this leans into like what this deck is doing pretty well. I like this configuration. I'd get about here. No, Scooz is the only graveyard hate. This deck's really bad against graveyard decks. You're just gonna die a lot of the time. Tutoring for graveyard hate with Eldritch Evolution is too slow in the graveyard matchups. Do you miss Path? I don't think so. I think just like having a Reflector Mage in the main that you can like copy and blink is enough interaction. Just like being focused on like putting your creatures into play is very reasonable. So I think this is the configuration I would go with if I was looking to play Cobra Saheeli. I think we 5-0'd the league that we played. I think that league showed a lot of the interesting things that this deck can do. Yeah, sure. You could put a bunch of surgicals in the board. I think Magus of the Moon's a very bad card to have in this archetype. I think it's okay at stealing games against 3-color midrange decks, but I think this deck is good against 3-color midrange decks. Against Tron, it just gets blown away. Against Valakut, they just bolt it or sweep it. So, if you're looking for Cobra Saheeli, I'm going to update the list on my site to match this one here in front of us. Thanks everyone for watching. I will be back tomorrow morning about 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, right about the time when the Pro Tour kicks off, and I will be streaming 3 Modern Leagues during the limited portion again tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and host the main Magic channel now, so if you're going to hang out and watch the Pro Tour, if you're going to come back later, you're welcome to come back and watch it here on my channel. I'm going to be watching the Pro Tour, and I'll be chatting in chat with people that are around that are watching the event. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and thanks for the support to the subs. Keep me here and our sponsors as always, and I'll see all of y'all tomorrow. Oh, actually, tonight I'm gonna come back after the Pro Tour is done with Constructed. So 5, 6, 7 o'clock, whenever they finish up Constructed, I'm gonna play some Arena. So also, I know I was talking about this deck being a little bit clunky during this league. I really love playing decks like this. I wish they were a little bit better. They're fun to play on occasion. It's fun to have a good result, but I think this configuration seems fine.